welcome in to the live. We're going to be chatting tonight about narcissistic abuse. If you're just popping in here, my name is Ro. I am a narcissistic abuse survivor, and I'm also a life coach, and I help you heal from narcissistic abuse. And welcome. I'm actually from Canada. I'm very pretty. Thank you. I wanted to chat with you all today. I think I saw a question pop in, but let me just look. Question, can you explain how we know we're with a narcissist? Such a good question. Do you feel like yourself, right? Do you feel completely confused all the time? Do you feel like you can't be comfortable sharing your good news, your bad news, anything? Hey, Roy, what's up? That's how you know you're with someone who's toxic, right? If you think that you might be with somebody who doesn't make you feel comfortable being you, that could be a toxic person and it could be a narcissist, right? But we don't want to focus too much on who they are and what they do. We want to focus on what we are and what we do. So if we don't feel like ourselves, if we feel like we're a shell of a human being, we're changing who we are for another person, we come home and we're worried that they're going to yell at us, scream at us, whatever. That is a good sign that you're with someone that's toxic. And once you start to understand the behaviors that are changing in you, then you can see how this person is changing you and what behaviors they have, what patterns that you're looking for. Someone's asking here, how long will it take me to not have cognitive dissonance after leaving the narcissist? Who here knows what cognitive dissonance is? Hands up if you know what that is. Cognitive dissonance, okay? Dissonance meaning that these are things that are competing in our mind. So cognitively, in our mind, we have competing thoughts, and how it shows up and presents in narcissism would be somebody that you're with, they would say something like, I love you. I love you so much. You're the only one for me. You're the only person that I want to be with. And then they go and they cheat on you. That would be an example of cognitive dissonance. It creates confusion, absolutely. It creates a lot of unmatching words and actions. So they will say something like, I will keep you safe, I will protect you. And then they'll hit you or become violent with you in different ways, right? So there will be some type of physical violence and some type of intimidation. It's a contradiction, yeah, but it is thoughts that we cannot process because they're so confusing. It's like an oxymoron. They say they love you, but then they cheat on you, right? And we become so confused because we were sucked into this type of relationship and sucked into this spell, right? Can you repeat the example? So cognitive dissonance would be two competing thoughts or thoughts that are just competing in our minds and we don't know which one to go with. If a narcissist says, I love you, but then they cheat on you. If they tell you that they will protect you and that they will keep you safe, and then they hurt you and harm you and cause violence in your life. That would be an example of cognitive dissonance. So what happens when that happens? We don't know what to do. And our brain goes with what's easiest. It's easier to just believe the lies. It's easier to just say, yeah, they do love us. They do love us. They're just going through this whatever. Or that's not them. They're an alcoholic, that's not them. Who here has had a narcissist in their life that has substance abuse issues? It's very common. It's very common for narcissists to have substance abuse issues. Right? So if you have a narcissist who can use another vice or another reason to justify the abuse, that's what they'll do. They'll blame it on their alcoholism. They'll blame it on a hard day at work. They'll blame it on their ex cheated on them, or they have trauma, childhood trauma. How many narcissists have you met that have said that I've had childhood trauma? And you actually start feeling bad for their childhood trauma, right? Right. Mine's an alcoholic. Oh my God, they do. They all do, right? They all have issues with alcoholism. A lot of them do. Right? They try to pin it on you for coping method. Exactly. Smoke, drink, drugs, all of that stuff is very common. Now, I'm not saying that all alcoholics are narcissists, and I'm not saying that narcissists are all alcoholics, right? But what I'm saying is it's really common, because what's happening here with narcissism? What happens with narcissism, right? Narcissism is basically a person who was not allowed to identify their emotions as a child. So they weren't able to, or they didn't have access to, or they were completely deprived of being able to regulate their emotions, feel their feelings, and cope through it, and also identify and label what emotion they're having. So they don't know how to regulate their emotions. No one's been able to get them to do that. So they turn away from the outside world, and they start relying on themselves. They start becoming self-reliant and self-centered, and start looking on the internal for that. And that's where the gaslighting comes in. That's where the narcissism comes in. So they'll turn to narcissism for this coping mechanism. And so a lot of them will go inward, and they won't connect with others. The outside world no longer exists, and they're turning in, and they become self-reliant and self-absorbed, that the only way they know how to cope is through addiction. And they'll have dopamine hits anytime that they get a sense of adrenaline, or a sense of, whatever their pleasure is, whatever their pleasure reward system is. And a lot of the times with narcissists, it's going to be you. You're going to be their supply, your pleasure and reward. So someone's asking if we can explain gaslighting. And we've talked about gaslighting before in my lives. Gaslighting is an attempt to change your reality to control you. If you've ever had to ask yourself, did they say that? Is this real? Did they do that? Maybe I imagined it. Maybe I'm going crazy. That would be gaslighting. So it's beyond lying. It's not just lying, it's completely changing your reality. The term gaslighting came from this movie, this play actually in the 40s, where a husband was actually turning down the gas lights in his marital home, and pretending that the lights were still on. So he was turning down all the gas lights. There was gas lighting in the 40s, not regular electric lighting. He was turning them down very slowly because he wanted to make her go crazy. When she would ask, how come the lights are going down? Why is it darker in here? I can't see. He'd be like, what are you talking about? The lights are still on. Like, what do you mean you can't see? And it did adapt into a movie. Yeah, it started as a play and then adapted to a movie. She actually thought she was going crazy and ended up in a loony bin and got herself checked into a mental institution because of the gaslighting. So really what's messed up about the gaslighting is that it works. And you can feel as if you're crazy. By the end of the relationship that I had with a narcissist, I was on all sorts of medication. I was completely void of reality. I didn't know what was real. I start questioning everything. Absolutely. You start to question everything. So a couple tips to remember when you think you're being gaslit by a narcissist or anybody who's trying to change your reality, when they say things like, I never said that. That never happened. You can't just rewrite history. You can't just make stuff up. Are you crazy? Right? That wasn't even real. That never happened. What you absolutely have to do in that scenario is you have to remember what you saw was real. If you absolutely saw it, it happened. Yes, start documenting everything if you can. Make sure that you are taking account of your reality when you think you're being gaslit. Because gaslighting can also happen when you're sleep deprived. And gaslighting can also happen when you're being in survival mode, where you're fight or flight and you just want to get the situation over and done with when you're trying to protect your peace. You know, somebody could be trying to start a fight with you or trying to get you to react, and then you lose sight of reality and you just react in your defense. So remember, these narcissists will exhaust us where we don't have any energy to fight them. We would just rather not. They won't let us sleep. They won't let us relax. They won't let us be in peace. And then we have to sit around trying to keep the peace. So we're more susceptible to gaslighting because we just give in. And then what happens when we give in? They go, remember, you gave in. You said that was fine. Like, you agreed that you are also the crazy one too, because you also got mad about this too. You agreed that this happened this way, remember? Right? And so they'll just keep saying that so that you actually understand that, like, I just have to go along with whatever they say. So somebody got out today and they're so hurt and crying. I don't know how I'll be okay now. You will be okay. I promise you that what you're going through is temporary. You don't have to worry about this person anymore. Okay? You don't have to worry about being in this cycle because you understand what's happening. Now, if you're just tuning in here, my name is Ro. I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor, and I'm also a life coach, and I do one-on-one support with people who need it. Anybody who wants to book a session with me can go to the link in my bio and book a coaching session with me. But I want you to know something. When you are healing from narcissistic abuse, you're doing 3 things. You're learning what happened to you, and this is going to give you the keys to your freedom, true freedom. Okay? Being away from the narcissist, leaving the narcissist is one thing. Understanding that it's very possible to get hoovered back into the cycle, that's also another thing to keep in mind. But you are now in a place where you're learning how to be without the narcissist, and you're learning what it is and what happened. The fact that you're right here in this live today is showing me, and you can tell yourself that you are on your way to freedom. This really painful place that you are in is temporary. I'm so tired is what I hear all the time. Exactly. It's exhausting. Give yourself some kindness. It's okay to feel exhausted. It's okay to feel exhausted. Okay? Yes, you can absolutely DM me if you need to. I offer one-on-one coaching support. I also offer group coaching. So if anybody wants to join my group coaching, which happens once a month, the next one that's coming up is September 25th. It's almost sold out. So if you do want to book a spot for that, go to the link in my bio under group coaching and secure your spot and register for that one. We go around in a circle on a Zoom chat, and it's limited to 25 people. And we go around in a circle and we share a little bit about whatever the topic is. And yes, if you're going to be at the group coaching, put your hand up and say, yay. Yay. Just put a yay up in the corner there if you're going. I cannot wait to meet all of you in group coaching. You can also coach with me one-on-one. So if you want to work with me one-on-one, what I do is I just kind of dig into what's going on in your life, the person that you might be dealing with, how you're healing, and I give you the glasses. I give you the clarity to see things and move forward. So yay for everyone who's joining group coaching. I am so excited to meet all of you. Thank you so much. So someone's asking here, he ghosted me and you don't know how to move on. Moving on from ghosting. Now, I'm not going to say that narcissism and ghosting really go hand in hand. A lot of narcissists want to keep you around. True ghosting is when somebody disappears completely out of your life. And that's not really narcissism. That's just cowardice. That's just kind of a coward way to get out of there. And some people really have a hard time with confrontation. And so they might ghost as a way to just tell you they're not interested or that they want you out, right? Putting a boundary in place and blocking somebody because they're abusing you and they're harassing you is completely different. You give somebody fair warning and you say, hey, leave me alone, and then you go ahead and block them. That's creating a boundary. And in narcissism with these relationships, it's also called going no contact. So if you actually want to block a toxic person in your life, I have had toxic friends that I've had to block because they didn't like how I was healing. And that's another thing we can talk about, which is friends that don't like that you are healing. In this journey, there are going to be friends that do not like the fact that you are healing. What is ghosting? Ghosting is disappearing. So sometimes when you're dating somebody, they will just be interested in you and you'll go on a few dates and then all of a sudden they'll ghost you. And this is just kind of a term that's talked about in the dating world a little bit. But yes, someone's asking here, what if my spouse is not usually mean, but he avoids all responsibilities besides his career job? So the household responsibilities, that is more like weaponized incompetence. It is a bit of a trait of narcissistic abuse in some respects, but a lot of the times it is more of like it's more of a man-woman type thing. It's more common for men to do the weaponized incompetent move, which is basically like, you do the dishes better, honey. Why don't you do them? You're more organized. Why don't you book all the school stuff and do all of the extracurricular activities? You get on the PTA, I want you to book all of the medical appointments. Do all that. You're so good at it. You're so good at organizing. The narcissist that I married was always getting me to organize his receipts every single month. And not only that, he would crumple up all the receipts and crumple them into balls and put them in his pockets or leave them in the car. And then I would have to wrinkle them all out and organize them by date, by expense, by the type, by the payment. And I hated it. I absolutely hated it. He knew that I hated it, but I was so good at it, so I had to do it. And I felt bad if I didn't do it. If you don't do this for the family and we have to hire somebody, that's a loss. That's a loss. That means you don't take care, you don't care about the family. So I would feel really guilty. So things like that, that's weaponized incompetence. What you're talking about, what you're asking is some of the household duties, the non-financial household duties, are supposed to be taken care of both parents, both couples, right? On both sides. So if a person is doing this to you and they're making you do everything, they're A, trying to increase your mental load so that you're always exhausted. B, they're trying to control you, to exploit you and use you for all the benefits that you have. And then also the last thing is they can accuse you of not doing things properly. Oh, why did you clean it like that? That's not supposed to be done that way, right? It's just another way to devalue you and insult you. Another way to make you feel more insecure and question your reality, if you are a good person or not, if you are a good mother or not, if you are a good partner or not. It's always exhausting and it's always exploited. Exactly. They just want to see what they can get away with you. Watching you has helped me so much with my healing from my narcs. Thank you. I've been thinking of sharing my story and using my voice to help others. Yes, absolutely, Charlie. I love that. When we heal out loud, when we heal from this and we share our story and what we went through, there's a few things that happen here. There's a few things that happen. One, we remove it from us. So it no longer weighs us down, right? It doesn't give any more power over us. And we get to take our power back when we let it leave our body, leave our mouth, and we share our story, okay? 2, we gain community by doing this, by sharing your story and talking about what you went through when you're ready and being able to heal out loud. And thank you for all those hearts. I really appreciate you guys so much. When we share our story, all of the people find us that have also gone through what we've gone through, right? So you no longer have to feel alone because you are in a community of people who've gone through this. This is the sense of community that we gain from sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And having this sense of community is going to make us feel belonged, believed, seen, heard, accepted, included, right? This is self-love. This is self-love. And this is what we want to get to, a place where we love ourselves again, where we don't have this isolation, where we feel alone, because a narcissist is really good at making you feel like you're the only one in the world that's going through this, right? You're the only one that's going through this. You're so welcome. And I want you to know there are so many people going through this. Look at all the people here in the chat. There's tons of people going through this. You're not alone. You're not alone. And learning to love yourself is really important, but we need to do that by understanding what we went through and dealing with the healing and the heartache and the pain, right? I held my whole ass house on my own, cared for 5 kids that weren't even mine, obviously struggled cleaning and putting myself first. My mental health tanked. Yeah. Our mental health, our health tanks, not even our mental health, our physical health as well. I'm going to tell you what happens when you leave a narcissist. Thank you for those hearts. I really appreciate you. What happens when you leave a narcissist? So many things, okay? Our mental health improves. Our mental health improves. We start to learn to love ourselves again, okay? We jump out of jump out of our inauthenticity, and we start loving ourselves and expressing ourselves, right? We start to feel more comfortable with ourselves and discover who we are. That's what happens when we leave the narcissist. And then we also make more money. We have access to intuition. We have access to our passion. Are narcissists pathological liars? Yes, they are. Narcissists in general are pathological by nature. So they're not only pathological in lying, they have pathological abusive patterns, right? Everything that a narcissist has is a pattern. And so if you want to know if you're with a narcissist, watch for the patterns. Watch for what they do on a regular basis. Watch what they get away with, how they test the waters, and then do it again and again and again and again and again and again. Watch for that. You want to make sure that you're looking at those patterns, because the more they do something, the more they're going to get comfortable doing it. And the more we accept this, the more we consent to it, even though it's unknowing consent. So a pattern example would be the cycle that we get stuck in. If somebody was telling you that they will, never hurt you again, or it was a one-time thing, or they apologize for something. Okay, here's a pattern. This is what you want to look for. Look at an apology. That's your example right there. Watch a narcissist apologize to you. Apologies have to have 3 things. Every apology needs to have 3 things in order for it to be an authentic apology. People don't do things they hate doing, period. Exactly. They hate apologizing, number 1. They hate it. So the apology needs to be direct, and it needs to be specific. I'm really sorry I hurt you. That's specific. That's direct. Okay? Not, I'm sorry you were hurt. Not, I'm sorry that you feel this way. Not, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry that, you saw that, but that kind of shit, that's not apologizing, okay? That's not real. The second thing that an apology needs to have is some acknowledgement on what it did to you. I'm sorry that I hurt you. I understand how painful that made you feel. And I really disobeyed our trust, and I really broke a lot of trust and comfort here. This is what I did. Right? Sorry buts do not count. We don't take those as apologies anymore. Sorry, but it was your fault. Sorry, but why were you there? Sorry, but why were you looking at my phone? No, those are not apologies. So apology has to be specific. The apology has to acknowledge your feelings. And the last and most important thing that we need to have when we're apologizing, okay? An apology needs to have changed behavior. You don't just say, sorry, I cheated on you. and then go and you cheat again. That's a pattern. Now we're developing a pattern. I apologize. They come back and let me back in their life. I go ahead and cheat again. Because to a narcissist, when you accept an apology, you let them do it again. You basically say, I'm going to let you do it again, right? So you need to have an apology that has specific, that has acknowledgement of feelings, and has changed behavior. Otherwise, it's not an apology. Changed behavior is what makes the apology. Without it, it's just manipulation. They're just saying words to you so that you will be at their beck and call again. Go back to them. Be back in the cycle of abuse. Hurt you again. A narcissist will say anything to get their way. Absolutely anything to get their way. Okay? Absolutely anything to get their way. Apology without change behavior is manipulation. Yes, exactly. So don't just listen to what a narcissist says. Watch what they do. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. If the narcissist is doing all of these things, that's them. Future faking, telling you that they're your soulmate, telling you that you're going to go buy a house here, you're going to go travel there, you're going to have this many kids, that many, that. No. Watch what they do, not what they say. Turns you on and gets mad at you. Yeah, that's cognitive dissonance. So if you're just tuning in here, my name is Ro. I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor. I'm also a certified life coach. I help you heal from narcissistic abuse. And we're here just answering some questions, talking a little bit about what narcissists are, what they do. Yes, false promises, everything that comes along with this narcissistic abuse cycles, and how we develop how we can watch for patterns and find out if somebody in our life is pathological and doing this kind of cycle and keeping you in this cycle. Wait, did I future fake? I told her we'd travel if she stopped doing cocaine. Yeah, well, I mean, that is a boundary that you put in place. You said, hey, listen, I don't want to be traveling with you if you're going to have a drug problem. That's a little different. Future faking is when you very first meet somebody and at the very beginning of the relationship, you start creating this life. You start creating this fantasy, this facade. You start saying all of these things you're going to do, and you're going to future fake a reality that they're not going to deliver on later. That's future faking. He doesn't want to give me closure if I ask if something is wrong. Narcissists hate closure. You do not get closure from another person in general. So I'm going to give you a hard, tough love statement here. Are you guys ready for it? Tough love statement. Are you guys ready? Hands up if you're ready. Tough love statement. I'm going to give it to you straight. We are never going to get validated by a narcissist. We will never get closure from a narcissist. And I'm going to take it a step further. We're never going to be validated by anyone else but ourselves. The closure comes from us. If you're in a narcissistic relationship or you're healing from a narcissistic relationship, okay, and you're looking for closure, look within. No one else on planet Earth can give us closure but ourselves. Okay? The truth, the lie that we uncover and the truth that we see afterwards is the closure. The disrespect that the narcissist did was the closure. The lying, the cheating, the stealing, the manipulation, the controlling behavior. Seeing that with fresh eyes, with a new lens, with a new way of seeing life, that's the closure. It's painful because we can't look to them anymore, right? It's painful, yes, because we have to look at ourselves. The fact that we stayed in this abusive relationship, the fact that we didn't see it then, and now we see it, that's the painful part, but that's also closure. The disrespect is the closure. We'll never get it from the narcissist. And to elevate that just a little bit more, we'll never win an argument with a narcissist. They'll never see our perspective, ever. right? If you ever have an argument with a narcissist, I don't know if you've ever had one or you've tried to say your perspective or try to say your piece or just try to say, hey, this is where I'm coming from. This is what I see. You will basically lose your fucking mind. Sorry to say it like that, but you will lose your mind because the narcissist will be so committed to misunderstanding every word you say. I consider myself to be a really articulate person, right? I used to do presentations for my old job, and I would be able to identify a situation, explain it, and present it properly to a group of people and have them understand it. I think that I'm an articulate person who can communicate well. I thought that I was communicating as often, as well, and as articulate and as direct and efficiently as possible with that narcissist that I married. Nope. I don't understand what you're saying. No, that is not right. No. Narcissistic word salad. It's going to go around and around and around in circles, and it never is going to stop at a destination. There's no point. You stumbled on articulate. I did. I did. So I want you to know you cannot argue with the narcissist. It's not going to work. They actually know what you're saying. They actually get off on you messing up your words, and they get off on you getting frustrated and looking at them like, how do you not get this? And then there's also this level of they have this limited perspective of a robot, and they can only see things from their own perspective. They do not want to even know what your perspective is. They don't care about your perspective at all. I feel like this. I like this. I feel like I'm talking to a gal pal. I'm your gal pal. I'm your gal pal. So if you're just popping in, my name is Ro. I'm now the gal pal. Healing from narcissistic abuse is my jam, okay? And yes, I know it hurts. I know it hurts. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is temporary. This isn't something that's going to last forever. You're supposed to hurt a little bit. That means you're healing, right? Hella, he's doing it on purpose. It's called word salad. So narcissistic word salad is meant to confuse you. It's meant to make you go crazy. Is the only option to leave, not stay? No, absolutely. You have lots of options. So I am a life coach. I'm healing from narcissistic abuse. I have 15 years experience in narcissistic abuse. I'm a certified life coach. I help people heal through one-on-one coaching and group coaching and content that I make on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. So if you want longer content, if you want longer videos, you can go into my YouTube channel and subscribe to that. I go live on TikTok and I go live on Instagram right here. Sometimes I'm going to probably try and go live on YouTube at some point, but I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But I do talk a lot about narcissistic abuse and all the different tactics that they do. So it's really getting on top of their tactics and understanding what they're doing to us so that we can survive these situations. I can also help you get to a point to ethically manipulate. We can manipulate. People manipulate. It's not always a bad thing. Narcissists manipulate for bad. Narcissists manipulate to get their way. Okay? Narcissists get you to do whatever it is they want to do so that they can exploit you and benefit from it. We manipulate. Everybody manipulates. Therapists manipulate. Therapists will manipulate for good all the time. They'll get you to see something, right? So we can manipulate the situation if we understand what we're dealing with. So for example, when a narcissist punishes you with the silent treatment, who here has ever had the silent treatment? I know you know what that is. When you hear the words silent treatment, what comes up for you? What do you hear? What memories come up for you when you hear the word silent treatment? Thank you so much, Carol. Right? Silent treatment. Me, 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 me. Thank you for those likes. Appreciate you guys. Me, 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 me. Silent treatment. Silent treatment is complete and utter silence, ignoring your existence. You don't exist anymore. You cease to exist. You're no longer a person. You're no longer a human. And the silent treatment isn't just, no texting back or ghosting or blocking you. No, the silent treatment is right in front of your face. The silent treatment is a narcissist sitting right there on the end of the couch and you coming home saying, hey babe, like, what are we having for dinner? And they just look at you like, are you mad at me? Like, can we talk? Turning the music up, turning the TV up, walking up the stairs, leaving. And you're sitting there trying to figure out what the hell you did. It's usually for no reason at all, right? The silent treatment is usually attitude for no reason. It's silence in the car the whole way home. Ever go to a party with a narcissist and you don't know what the fuck you just did, and all of a sudden they're sitting in the car completely ignoring you, just driving, like, turn the music up, ignore you. So that was a fun party, hey hun? Completely ignoring you. That's a silent treatment. It is a punishment. The silent treatment is emotional torture. You're sitting there questioning everything. What did I do? What did I say at the party? Did I hurt his feelings somehow? Did I piss her off? What did I do? I don't know what I did. And you're sitting there literally hurting because you have no idea what you did. You're sitting there wondering if he or she is mad at you because you did something, and now you have to retrace all your steps and try to figure out what it is. They're doing this to make you feel tense. They're doing this to make you feel crazy. It is emotional murder. They cut you off. They bump you off. You're done. You no longer matter in their life. You no longer exist. You are invisible. And you're getting punished for something you didn't even commit. You don't even know what you did. You have no idea what the fuck you did. You're just like, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm sorry. Can you please tell me what are we fighting about? Can I do anything? And you're sitting there fawning. You're sitting there trying to fix whatever problem just occurred, and you don't even know. I'm here, girl. Thank you so much. I got you. So that is a silent treatment. So back to ethical manipulation. If a narcissist is giving you the silent treatment, now we know it's punishment. Now we know that there isn't actually a crime that you committed. You didn't commit a crime. You don't have to be punished for a crime you never committed. They're doing this to hurt you. They're doing this to emotionally torture you. They're doing this for you to question your reality and wonder what the fuck happened. They're not actually mad at you for anything. They're mad at themselves. So here's where this gets real fun, okay? Now that we know what the silent treatment is, now that we know that they're doing this to punish us, we can say, hey, you can't manipulate me when we're in the silent treatment. Hey, don't threaten me with a good time. Keep doing the silent treatment. I get some peace and quiet. I don't have to be abused today because they're giving me the silent treatment. Now that you know that the silent treatment is just a form of punishment and it's just a way for you to feel completely tense and basically scrambling, trying to figure out what you did. Now that we know that we didn't do anything wrong, that we're just being punished for no reason, take it as a mini vacation. Okay? That is ethical manipulation. We're manipulating the situation, going, hey, I know what it is. I'm aware of it now. And you're not reacting. You're just going, okay, He wants to ignore me today. I'm going to go up and watch my favorite show on Netflix. I swear they think they're God's gift to women. So females, okay, are narcissists too. Abuse knows no gender. Personally, I was abused by male narcissists, so that's my experience, but I also deal with men who have been abused by women. Abuse knows no gender. That being said, the God's gift to women or the God's gift to others is a narcissistic trait that does fall into the 9 behavioral traits of narcissism, which is the feeling of being special and unique, the feeling of having this really high sense of entitlement and importance. So I am so important. Everybody loves me. It's also part of the envy as well. They think everyone's envious of them. Everybody wants to be me. And what's really fucking backwards about that is that they actually think that, okay, they want everyone to be them, but they actually want to be everyone else. They want to be you. Have you ever met a narcissist? The narcissist that you met, did you ever think like, wow, they're me. They're exactly like me. We have the same taste in music. We have the same taste. We have the same traumas. We like the same books. We watch the same shows, right? They're me. They're exactly me. Wow. It's because they're mirroring you. It's because they actually want to be like you. That's why they suck you dry. The world revolves around them and they have all the answers to everything. Yeah, they have all the answers. They want to make sure that they have every single, that they're the smartest person in the world. They're so special and unique. Girls, let's do a group to help each other. Yeah. So if you guys want to join my Facebook group, I actually do have a Facebook support group that's open to both men and women. So it is, again, I don't believe that abuse knows gender. So this happens to all sexes in all same-sex relationship, in parent-child dynamics. There's narcissistic fathers, narcissistic mothers. There's all sorts of dynamics where this type of abuse occurs. So if you do want to be in the support group and you can share, it's open to anybody who's in my community. It is a free group, but then there's also my group coaching that I do once a month. So if you're just tuning in, my name is Ro. I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor and I'm a certified life coach, and I help you heal from narcissistic abuse. I offer one-on-one coaching, and I also offer different resources where we can heal together. Mine acted like he knows it all. Yep, they do that. My dad was a narcissist and I'm a guy, and that happens too. I do have clients that have had narcissistic men in their life, narcissistic fathers. And some of the clients are men as well. So there's so many variations to this type of abuse, to this style of abuse. Love your content. Thank you so much. Girl, I need your coaching. If you want to book with me, go to the link in my bio. You can book one-on-one coaching with me. I do 30 minutes and 60 minutes. And what I will do is I will give you a chance to gain clarity. I don't hold the wheel. This is what I tell my clients. I don't hold the wheel for you. I'll hold your hand. I'll hold your hand and I'll tell you, what options that you have and what you feel more comfortable with. And I'll give you those options. And I'll say, hey, listen, here's the glasses. Put them on. Put them on. Okay? Now that you can see what this is, what's going on, what the narcissist is doing, you can see it now. Now these are the choices you have. What do you feel most comfortable doing in this situation? That's how I help you as a coach. I give you clarity. I give you the tools to move forward, and I let you make a powerful choice on your own on how you want to move forward. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to say, hey, leave them. You got to leave this person. I'm not going to do that. Some of my clients want to stay. Some of my clients do stay. Some of my clients are still in the phase and don't know how to get out and are not ready to get out. And that is okay too. It is okay to heal in any type of way you need to heal. I want to help you figure out those ways for you. Can they change? I miss him. So that's the question of the night. Can the narcissist change? Can they? Who thinks they can change? Hi, Anna. I see you. Thank you, little mama. Thanks, Carol. Put your hand up in the chat if you think the narcissist can change. Can they? Thank you for the waves. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate you guys. I already left him. I feel bad for my child. I hope she can heal. She can heal. She has one healthy parent. If you left the narcissist, you have a shot of having at least 50% of a healthy household for that child. Because if you left an abusive situation, you are no longer in an abusive situation with the child. The child now sees at least 50% of healthy. So yes, your child will heal through that. So you think the narcissist can change if they're willing to do the work, right? If they're self-aware. Most are in denial. I agree with all of that. Maria says no, and that's okay too. A lot of people ask, can the narcissist change? And the answer to that is yes. Of course they can change. Anyone can change. Narcissist or not. Heck, a psychopath can change. Any single person on this planet is able to change. Right? They can transform. I'll retract that because not a lot of people change, but they transform. And how do you transform? How do you heal to this place where you are a new person, where you are now a genesis of a new being? Right? You have to understand that in order for people to change, there has to be pain involved. You have to grow and heal through pain. And if there's no pain, there's no change. We only want to transform and change when there's something in our lives that isn't working. Why do any of us here want to change? Why do any of us here want to grow and heal? Because something's not working. We're not happy. A lot of us are depressed. A lot of us go through a lot of anxiety. A lot of us are questioning if we're the narcissist, right? That hurts. That shit is painful. If you ever heard about addiction and the people going rock bottom before they actually change and get better and start their recovery journey and start healing that way, that takes rock bottom. Rock bottom is fucking painful, right? Pain is what gets us to want to transform and change. Pain is the key to change. Something isn't working. Something is hurting. Now, will a narcissist feel that pain if they keep getting everything they want? Could they change with you? Couples counseling? I don't do couples counseling. No, I don't do couples coaching at all. And to be honest, 10 out of 10, not recommended. I would not recommend going to a couples counselor with a narcissist because that narcissist is going to manipulate the therapist. And that therapist can actually push you towards staying with a narcissist if they were being manipulated by that narcissist. And also, you will be abused on the way to the session, on the way to therapy. You'll be abused on the way back for everything that you said. So the only way that couples counseling works with a narcissist, there's only one way that it works. Go alone. Don't go with the narcissist. Let that narcissist go to therapy on their own if they want to. But most of the time, the narcissist isn't going to change if everything that's working in their lives continues working. If they can manipulate you and get supply out of it, why would they change, right? If they still have you around and they can put you in this cycle of abuse over and over and over and over and over again, why would they change? The narcissist doesn't want to change if they're not in any pain. So the only way that we can actually create an opportunity for them to change is to remove them from our life and stop letting them hurt us. It's not it's not as easy as I say, okay? I'm acknowledging that it is a really hard thing and a really painful thing to do. And I'm not telling you just leave, just leave. I know how hard it is to leave a narcissist. I understand the trauma bond and I understand what ties us back. But what I'm saying is when we get to this place where we can go no contact and we no longer care what the narcissist does, if they feel like something in their life isn't working and everyone in their life keeps leaving them, there's hope for them to change. Maybe they'll change, but the hope isn't for us. We don't care anymore if they change. Who cares? And for the person who asked, will they change because I miss him? What do you miss? Is it normal to feel like you're the narcissist? Yes, a lot of people do ask that question. How do you get to this point? First, you have to stay no contact. You have to be within community. If you want, book a coaching session with a life coach to help you get through this and help you heal from this and give you tips on how to self-care and self-love. But we don't care what the narcissist does anymore. That's how they change, because people will stop caring. People will stop taking blame for their part, because we didn't have a part in abuse. No such thing. All right? We didn't have a part in our abuse. The abuse was the narcissist. Okay? So we no longer blame ourselves. We no longer care what they're thinking, what they're doing. We don't care about that stuff anymore, right? We want to focus on us. When we start focusing on us, we stop missing the narcissist. Now, ask yourself, do you miss the narcissist or do you miss the relationship? Do you miss the misconception that you had of them? Do you miss the fake person that they were? Or do you actually miss the abusive person? Who do you actually miss? You have to ask yourself that. What is it that you miss? The fantasy? That's okay. That happens. Hi from Hastings, New Zealand. Hello. Welcome in. If you're just tuning in, my name is Ro. I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor and a life coach. I help people heal from narcissistic abuse. I offer one-on-one coaching, so you can book an appointment with me if you want to do a coaching session with me. I have also group sessions. I don't miss anything. There you go. That's amazing. I hate them. So when we can turn our hatred and our anger and our rage that we have, this frustration that we have of the narcissist, we can turn it into indifference. Thank you for those hearts. That is a really good place to be. Indifference is the best place to be in our narcissistic healing. Okay? Being indifferent, where we no longer care, we're no longer mad, we're no longer angry, we're no longer raging, we're no longer depressed, we're no longer sad. So I want you to get to this place of indifference. How are we going to do that? A lot of self-work, a lot of self-care, a lot of self-love, a lot of reflection. You can do this with me. You can do this in therapy. You can just do this by watching content and being in these lives. And just remember, you're not alone. You can get to this place of indifference where that narcissist is just like the gas station attendant. They're nobody. They're a nobody because they weren't really anybody to begin with. I finally became indifferent, but he won't leave. But now we don't care anymore, right, Sonia? We don't care anymore. They will eventually give up. They do. The narcissistic collapse is real, guys. It's real. And you know what happens? And I've talked about the narcissistic collapse before. The narcissistic collapse is when the narcissist has no more meat left on the dead carcass to feed off of. There's no more supply left. There's nothing for them to feed off of. There's nothing for them to pick at. Okay? You will get to this place where you no longer care what the narcissist does, thinks, and he or she will see it. And when they see it, they'll be like, oh, I can't get anything from them anymore. What do I do? What do I do? And so when they collapse with you, sometimes their whole world collapses. Sometimes they have a bad run of bad karma. Sometimes they lose their jobs. They go to jail. They get DUIs. You know, they're in a place where they no longer, the only thing that helped them survive was hurting you. And if that doesn't affect you anymore, their whole world shuts down. Think about it. This is the way they've been living their whole lives, because a narcissist is born out of emotional immaturity. So they never grown past that level of emotional regulation and maturity to be emotionally intelligent enough past toddler years. So they were this way their whole lives. And this is why it's really difficult for the narcissist to change, because this is how they've been living. So when they do collapse, sometimes their whole fucking world collapses. And it's the karma that they get. Unfortunately, this is their karma. I wouldn't wish this on anyone, honestly. They have to be this way forever. Unless they want to change. Unless the pain that they feel is greater than what they feel staying the same. That's the only way they'll change. Just waiting for his new supply to take care of him. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the new supply is just so doughy-eyed and confused that they don't know what's going on. They don't know what they're doing. And we will never ever get the karma that they have on themselves. Listen to this, okay, guys? A narcissist will never, ever suffer the way that you suffer. And thank you so much, Charlie. They'll never suffer the way that you suffered. Okay? But their karma is having to be them forever. What does that mean? They'll never experience real joy. They'll never experience true love. They'll never have connections, real connections with people, because they only really look at people as objects. They're never going to feel fully connected to anyone because they're so disconnected from themselves. That's real karma. That's the karma that they have. That's the life they chose. They're a prison. They're a living, breathing prison. Thank you. Their karma is their existence. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. So that is their karma. They live it every single day. Exactly. Sucks to be them. It's never been truer in this situation. Yep. Superficial relationships. So narcissists, this is what they don't tell us. This is what they don't want us to know. And I don't even know if they know this, but they look at everyone as an object. You are just a piece of furniture to them. You just sit there. You're functional sometimes. You know, you're a shiny toy. You're a brand new iPhone. That's all they look at you as. You're just an object. They objectify you because knowing somebody else's humanity hurts them because they don't know who the hell they are. That's one. Two, they'll blame you for absolutely everything. You're fucked if you're with a narcissist because nothing you do is ever going to be credited. Okay? And everything they do that's wrong will never be they'll never take accountability for. They won't take any responsibility for it. So you're always going to be the one to blame. That's two. Okay? Number three, they're extremely insecure. They don't want you to know that. They actually have such a little sense of self. We seem to think somewhere along the way, somebody taught us that narcissists or people who are in this type of toxic behavior are self-centered. And yes, arrogance is one of the behavioral traits of narcissism, but we think that they have a really inflated sense of self, that they believe that they're this great, insightful, powerful, confident person, that they have this huge sense of self. It's incorrect. They actually have no sense of self. They don't know who the fuck they are. And that makes them extremely insecure. They're jealous and envious of everyone around them because of what we have, which is empathy. They don't have that. They're jealous of you because you have that. You have the ability to understand somebody else's experience and put yourself in somebody's shoes. They don't know how to do that. So that's 3. Okay? 4, they don't give a shit about you. They never did. They never will. They don't care about you. They don't care about your life. They don't care about anything. The narcissist I married, he used to say to me all the time, I don't care about that. Why are you showing me that? Is there a reason why you sent me this text message? Is there a reason why you sent me this meme? I don't care about that. Why are you telling me you got a promotion at work? I don't care. He used to actually say those words, that he didn't care, because narcissists don't give a shit. They actually don't care. They don't even care about themselves, honestly. They just don't care. They're void. There's nothing there. How can you care for somebody else or a situation when you don't even know how to care for yourself? Right? Leave that crap, get help. Yes. So these are things that narcissists do not want us to know. They do not want us to know. They are extremely insecure, so they will manufacture feelings of insecurity in you. So again, if you're just coming in, my name is Ro. I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor. I am a coach. I'm here to help you heal from narcissistic abuse. Yeah, he says he's ugly and nobody loves him. So that is like there's a few different types of narcissists. There's the grandiose narcissist who is the life of the party. Everybody loves them. They're doing all of these things to show off. They're ostentatious. They're all over the place. They're always hopping, popping, fun. Everybody loves being around them. They're really easily charming. They know how to make you feel good. These are the narcissists who are really ostentatious and out there. The narcissist you're talking about who hates everyone, that is like a really angry narcissist. So there are angry narcissists who act like everyone's out to get them. Oh, these people are born into money and they're this and that, and they think they're better than me. They think everyone's better than you, right? They're angry at the world. They hate the world. They're telling you stuff about like some guy at the gas station who is rude to them. They're always having fights with their boss or the people that they work with. They're always fighting with their family members. That's the angry narcissist. So and we talk about overt, covert. We talk about these types of narcissists, but really there's different styles of narcissists as well. There's people with that are these outgoing narcissists, and then there are these angry narcissists, and then there's this narcissist, which a lot of people call a vulnerable narcissist. A lot of people call a covert narcissist, but there's also a different style. The kind narcissist. When I say kind, they act as if they're generous. They're always doing good deeds. They're out there. They're donating to all of these things. They're taking videos of who they're donating things to. They're out there helping everyone else except you. They're out there feeding the homeless. They're out there donating clothes to the drop-in center or to like a homeless shelter. They're out there saving lives or helping people, helping all these people. They do this to abuse you because you don't feel worth their attention, but they give it to everyone else. They're the ones who will call every single mom that they've ever met in their entire life to wish them a happy Mother's Day. They'll be on the phone for 3 hours calling up every single mom that they've ever met in their entire life on Mother's Day while you are carrying all the groceries, putting all the shit away, and being a full-time mom for 3 kids on Mother's Day, and not one acknowledgement to you. That's the kind, helpful narcissist. They're doing that so that you get put in your place. This is a message. A message is, you ain't shit. I don't care about you. I care about everyone else. And if you even try to say, hey, what about, it's Mother's Day. You never said Happy Mother's Day to me. What are you talking about? It's Mother's Day all the time. You know I love you. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you know. No. They're out there putting posts about all the moms in their life and they forget you on the list. It's sad. This is what a narcissist does when they pretend to be kind. So there's the kind narcissist, the kind, helpful narcissist, the angry narcissist, and then the narcissist who's overt, covert, in the life of the party. Oh my God, right? Right? Who's had that? And this is a personal story. He would call every single person on Mother's Day. Don't sugarcoat it. Every single person. Hey, just wanted to say Happy Mother's Day. Hey, you'd make posts on Facebook saying Happy Mother's Day to my mom, his sister, my sister. Right? All of this shit. I'm not even on there. And that's what they do. They're out there doing all these things for everyone to give you a message. You ain't worth shit. I don't care about you. I care about the whole world. The whole world needs healing, but not you. They do it to hurt you. So, guys, thank you all for being here. Mine was like your row. Yeah. My birthday got nothing. He was angry at the messages. Same prayers for you, pretty lady. Yay, thank you. Thanks, guys. My birthday, yeah, on your birthday, and anyone who has been abused by a female narcissist, this will happen with men too. Father's Day, no acknowledgement. They'll call every father, every dad that they've ever had, but not you. Not you. Thank you for the waves. So I'm going to end the live because it is Sunday. Yes, Sunday night. And I do a 1 hour boundary for myself. So I want to thank you all for being here. Quickly put your freedom date in the chat and tell me the day that you were free from the narcissist, whether you divorced them, whether you broke up with them, whether you have a separation date, whether you have a date that you went no contact, or the day that things clicked for you. When am I coming on next? I should come on tomorrow. I'll be probably on tomorrow night. I don't have a set schedule for live, so I just kind of go whenever I can. And yes, this is going to be on YouTube. So if you want to watch any of my live feeds, you can watch them on YouTube. I also have my podcast coming out every Thursday, which is basically these live sessions, Real Talk with Ro, and you can hear me talk. July 31st, 2022, May 14th, 2002. Amazing, guys. I love this. What is this? 2222. Ooh, April 22nd. I love that date. Going through divorce, it feels good. Yes. So freedom snaps to everyone that's free. Okay. Freedom snaps to everyone who's free and has a freedom date. If you do not have a freedom date and you can't put one in the chat right now, I want to tell you something. I have a message for you. If you cannot put a freedom date in the chat right now, I got a message for you. Okay. You will be free one day. This is your sign. This is your sign. You will have a freedom date. What you're going through right now is temporary. You do not deserve to be in this place right now. You deserve to be free. You deserve to be self-expressed. You deserve to be loved. I see you. I hear you. You are not alone. And we will heal from narcissistic abuse. And if you do not have a freedom date, look at these dates. That's your sign. You are going to get out of this. I promise you. Okay? Thank you all for being here. You guys are the best. Let's stay narc free. And I will see you around. Bye.